With shin splints, you can have an anterior shin splint, which is the tibialis anterior, or you can have a posterior shin splint, which is back here on the medial posterior side. So for the tibialis anterior, we want to do lots of just general strokes to make sure that that's all freed up. But then we want to come in right along the edge of the bone here. And I like to use the little gua sha spoon for that. And just come in right along the bone, and any tender spots or little crunchy spots, you can really start to work those loose. Or you can just come right up along that. So that's quite critical. And then that tibialis anterior tends to get a lot of trigger points. So use that trigger point knob and then just press in, and you can move your foot up and down into dorsiflexion while you're pressing. And then just iron it out at the end. For a posterior shin splint, we want to come along the back side. So first just find the bone, just run your finger right up along the bone. Now come in with this little hook, and we can just press in right along that underside of the bone. And it's going to be fairly tender, but any little adhesions, any little crunchy spots, really just try to tease all of that loose. And then just come right up along, just using the edge of that spoon. And again, just right along that bone. And then come in, find any tender points. And you can just press in with that trigger point knob. And these can be quite tender. And then just rub it all out a little bit. For anterior shin splits, the tibialis anterior is the main muscle. This muscle is a dorsiflexor, so it pulls up. And so with runners and tennis players where their foot is constantly slapping down, that muscle can get fatigued and develop trigger points and adhesions. So we want to stretch that muscle, but we also want to strengthen it. So one way to do some eccentric strengthening is to take a step forward and weight your heel, and then slowly let your toes drop down, but really control it. And then step back, and then step forward, weight the heel, and then slowly let it come down. For posterior shin splints, we really want to work on strengthening the arch and strengthening the toes, especially the big toe. So you want to spread your toes as wide as you can get them. Yeah, and then force your big toe down into the ground, and then raise up onto your heels. Yeah, see how that nice arch is created? Perfect. So the concentration is mostly on that big toe and creating an arch. Yeah, and spread those toes as wide as you can. That'll help strengthen all those muscles, strengthen the posterior tib, improve your balance, and make those feet feel better.